Hey, Emily.
Hi, Serena.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot going on at the moment.
A lot is going on at the moment.
I'd say we both got a lot going on at the moment.
Yeah. What have you been listening to?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you.
Tell me. I'm
Taylor
so
Swift came out
excited.
with a new album.
She did?
She did.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Obviously it's all I've been listening to. Specifically, I keep going back to the bridge of The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. When I tell you I have that on repeat, like, I'm not kidding. It's like all I want to listen to.
I have tears in my eyes.
I know. Like, on the way here, I was listening to, like, the album, obviously, and I was like, keep it together. You're going to be okay.
Yeah. On a much lighter note,
Yeah.
I can't stop listening to Fortnite. There's something so earwormy about it. It's like stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Bad. I love the vibe of it.
It's so different than what I expected it to be for, like, a lead single, I mean.
Agreed. And I think something that her and Post Malone have in common is they're both very good at making a song that gets very stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that.
They did that. They really did.
Oh, hello. My cat is just, she's the star of the show today.
She
I
really
was gone
wants to
all
be
weekend, so she's like, excuse me, pay attention to me.
Queen.
If you want to see her, you can get on YouTube and watch.
And with that,
Yep.
just kidding.
Okay. Are you done?
I'm just so excited that we can talk about
She's
this.
so ridiculous.
album.
I'm also so excited to be talking about this album. I was saying to Emily before we started recording, so the album came out on Friday. I had a party with my friends because we always have a party when a new Taylor album comes out. And then I had to immediately go to camp right after, and I was there all weekend, like volunteering. And so I didn't really get to listen to it that much this weekend.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where they needed somebody to run to the store, and I was like, I'll go. Me, I volunteer.
I'll be going for an hour and 8 minutes or however long the album is.
Exactly. But let's start about, I don't even know where to start, but we're going to, all right. How did you listen for the first time? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So I'm a Spotify user, but I hate that they don't have the lyrics up right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when I listen to songs for the first time, I can't really understand them unless I'm reading lyrics. So I downloaded my free trial of Apple Music.
As you said, Queen.
And I loaded it onto my TV. So I had, like, the app. And then my sister and I, like, sat on our couch and just...
Oh, you listened
the
with
lyrics.
Someone else.
Yeah, I listened with Abby. I've
Couldn't
never
do
done
it.
that before. I mean, it's we were both very, like, locked in.
Yeah, okay.
And, like,
so it was kind of like you were still by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, we had a party on Friday, but Thursday I was at Riley's all, like, afternoon because we got everything ready on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So that way on Friday we could just, like, show up and
Yeah.
not have to worry about anything. So I was at his house until, like, 11:15,
Oh my gosh.
which was good because it kept my mind busy
Good.
for all the time. So then I got home, put my Taylor Swift pajamas on, got in my bed, got out my Air Max Pros, AirPod Pros, Max, whatever the hell they're called, my headphones, and put them on, and sat here in silence.
Yeah.
I didn't have
That's
much of
great
a, like,
too.
visceral reaction.
No, I didn't either. I recorded my reaction because I recorded my reaction for Midnights, and that was a lot of fun because I feel like a lot of those songs were, like, jarring to me for the first time. So I was like, okay, I'll do that again, like, just in case. It's, like, fun to look back on. I'm not kidding. I have an hour-long video of me sitting there like this.
It was just not what I was expecting
Yeah.
at freaking all.
No, it wasn't. And I also think the lyrics messed me up too, like, reading them along with it, because I almost was, like, getting spoilers as the song was happening.
Yeah.
Like, the line of the, like, I'm having his baby, no, I'm not, but you should see your face.
Yeah.
Everyone posting their reactions to it. I was truly sitting there and I'm reading it and I'm like, I'm seeing what's coming next. It just, like, wasn't.
Yeah, maybe the next time I listen to a new album, I won't have the lyrics up, and I'll just
Yeah,
have
I'm
them up for
thinking
the
that
second
too.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be more fun to, like, because I agree with you, because I was seeing everything as it was coming,
Mhm.
so I wasn't as shocked by that
Yeah.
line as, like, others probably were.
But it's regardless. I mean, and also, like, it's so bad. I've been getting up so early and going to bed so early, like, these days. I can't stay up past 9 p.m. So bad. And I was like really nervous for Friday, but I'm like, I can take a nap any day. But Friday, like I had so much adrenaline and I was just so excited. I didn't sleep at all. So I was just like also sitting there like trying to keep my eyes open and like
Right.
trying to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
I just feel like overall this album is like really lore heavy.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like the general public's response is getting on my nerves because
Pissing me off.
they don't get it. This is like a very much like family business only. Like, I honestly really have been like staying away from social media and other people's opinions because I've been really overwhelmed by it every time I go on.
Yeah.
And I don't really care what people who don't get it have to say.
No, I don't either. That's why I was just like, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb for like 2 whole days because like my friends who don't like Taylor Swift and have been very vocal about it would be like asking me all these very like just such annoying questions. I'm like, okay, I love you, you're my friend, but
please
say
leave me
one
alone.
wrong thing, like I'm gonna get mean. So I can't do this right now.
Yeah. I just feel like overall we're so back with the super confessional, like
This
autobiographical
most confessional
writing.
Homegirl
I
has ever
honestly
been.
feel like we haven't seen anything even close to this since Red.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's so much more honest. I think she's more self-aware than she was when she wrote Red.
Totally. I mean, she's older.
Of course, as she should be more self-aware. Yeah.
Shall we go through track by track
I think we should.
and discuss? Oh, first of all, just want to put my like general opinion out there. I want to discuss the cover of the album, even though we already did, I'm sure. Okay, so when we got the anthology, I was a little disappointed that it's the same cover as the Black Dog variant.
Oh, I didn't even like realize that.
Yeah. But that picture is my favorite out of all the pictures she's done, and I wish that was the overall picture for the album. Like, this would be great if this was like the Torture Post Department photo, and then I wish she would have chosen a different one for like the Black Dog variant and the anthology. It's just all very like, because we were just talking about this earlier before we started. There's so many pictures for this era. So many beautiful pictures. She could have chosen so many. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know if we said this, but we're just today going to just be doing the regular version of the Torture Poets Department, like just the original 16 songs. So
we'll talk about the anthology another time. I have not had the time to listen to it properly.
Me neither.
So
like it'll probably be next week's episode, likely, but
and even if we did, this episode would be 3 hours.
Yes. So it was definitely something we needed to like break up. So
yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah. You just pulled that piece of paper out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She just reached back and pulled it out.
No, there's like under this shelf back here is open space. Okay. So I can store things down here. But I just realized that I typed out all my notes because my handwriting is atrocious and it's really hard for me to decipher it sometimes. But I realized I deleted my responses for the first 2 songs. So now I need to find my paper notes and decipher it and do exactly what I didn't want to do. So here we are. Okay, you can start with Fortnite if you'd like while I get my life together.
Well, all right, let me just say, listening to the song for the first time, knowing that it was going to be the lead single and we were going to have a music video and that it was setting the tone for the album, I again did not expect the vibe whatsoever. I was like, I looked at my sister and I'm like, this is not a lead single.
Paper I pulled out was the one I needed. Yeah, I agree that it didn't feel like a lead single.
Yeah, but it could have just been one of those situations where I was like hearing something for the first time and it's new and I don't know. So my opinion was very like, okay, album is going to sound interesting.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote down was functioning alcoholic, question mark. I was like, oh my gosh, girl.
Yeah, I know she likes to use metaphors, but I'd love to know like what is not a metaphor sometimes.
Yeah. Rough.
That's crazy.
The like, I want to kill her sends me. So this is one of the ones that she made a statement about, okay, correct? Good. I believe. I just, like I said, I messed myself up here by losing half of the first 3 things.
I feel like she did because it's also the single, so.
Yeah, I can't find it, so don't have it.
Back to it if you don't have it. No worries. I also loved someone else pointed this out, so I can't take credit for it, but the fact that the first line is, I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. And then one of the last lines in Hits Different, which is like the last song on Midnights, is, I heard your key turn in the door down the hallway. Is that your key in the door? Is it okay? Is it you, or have they come to take me away? And then she's like, I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love like the vibe of the song. I think the production's really well done. And I think that like the lyrics I'm not like obsessed with, but I like it. I thought it was interesting how they like brought up Florida in this song, and then obviously we see Florida again later. There are a few lines in it that are like pretty and I really liked, but I don't know that the lyrics make a ton of sense. But I like it. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm singing.
I feel like
the narcotics are working.
Right. No, exactly. I think the music video kind of helped a little more to understand, maybe not understand the song, but understand like what she was going for here.
I love, there's one line in it that I really love. Oh, I took the miracle drug, the miracle move on drug, and the effects were temporary. I love you, it's ruining my life. That part of the song scratches an itch in my brain.
That's good.
The effects were temporary. The way that she delivers that, I love. Obsessed.
Her delivery in a lot of these songs is really good.
Really, really,
and
really good. I wrote that down.
Yeah. I'm like, she sang this part so well.
She did her job so good.
Like, she's so talented. And I know I've been like openly kind of a Jack Antonoff hater for his production. But I've got to say, like, I'm not mad at him for this album. Like,
I think he did a great job.
I think he did do a great job. And I mean, Aaron Dessner always does a great job too. So
yes.
He popped off with his songs, but I'm not mad at Jack.
I was watching a TikTok and this girl was like, I just want to kiss them both on the lips with tongue. And I was like, yeah, yeah.
With tongue.
They're doing great. We love them both so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Can I say, I'm confused by the lyric, move to Florida, buy the car you want, but it won't start up till you touch me. That whole part, I don't know.
So I have a theory about the word Florida in this album. So we'll get to it when we get to the song Florida. But okay. I think
we can relate it back to this.
And it's not even really an original theory because I did see a tweet about this, but it makes so much sense.
I think I know what you're gonna say because I think I've seen it too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say another fun fact that someone pointed out was like Midnights was supposed to be like the 13 sleepless nights of her life, and like Fortnight is like the 14th night because it's like 2 weeks, 14 days, and it's like the opening to this album. I was like, dang,
I like that.
That's cool too.
I like that theory.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you feel about Post Malone's feature? Like, do you think
I wrote down? I wish there was more Post Malone in it. I'm shocked she gave him the bridge though.
Yeah.
Like she hasn't done that. I think the last time you hear somebody else sing the bridge of a song is in the song the last time.
Oh, yeah.
He sings the bridge. But for the most part, I
wonder if he wrote that. Like, I want to know.
Maybe. How much writing he had in it. He has writing credits, but who knows how much.
I agree, though. Although I think he sounds beautiful.
And also, in the music video, I never, like, looked at Post Malone and was like, you're hot.
No,
not anymore.
I'm like,
I was like, am I attracted to you? What is happening?
Had too much chemistry.
I know. I was really sad. I loved that like his tattoos were on her face.
That was cool. That part was really cool.
Loved it. I feel like we'll see a lot of Eras tour like in the Eras tour from here on out, yeah. Or like Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved no notes from me on this one.
Amazing.
I really like it.
Good.
I've been seeing some mixed reviews, but
of the song or the video?
The song.
Okay.
I feel like the video has been well received.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like a lot of people don't like it as the lead single.
Yeah.
But I like it. So
whatever.
Don't care. All right, next up we have the Tortured Poets Department. It was in listening to this song that I was like, oh.
This song made me laugh out loud multiple
times. It made me laugh out loud also. I literally wrote laugh out loud. But this was when I was like, oh, this isn't going the direction that I thought it was.
Yeah. I was I thought it was hilarious the way she like was making fun of the typewriter when like the typewriter has been like the central image of the album.
I know.
So promo and
And
stuff.
I also thought it was funny that she was making fun of the typewriter and then she acted like she liked it. I'm like, okay, that's giving a little pick me, babe.
Oh my god.
A little bit, just a little. Like, of her, like, not calling him out on it, like, saying that she likes it, kind of. Because, what did she say? She said I forget exactly what she says about it.
She's like, I think things I never say, like, who uses
A typewriter anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do think, like, I think we'll definitely be talking about who we think songs are about in this album, but I also think there's a lot of crossover and that there's a lot of, like, I feel like she was having a lot of emotions at the same time about both Joe and Maddie Healy, that like some songs I feel like it's almost like a blurred line of like, oh, maybe in some parts of the song it actually feels like it's about this person, and some parts it feels like it's about this person.
Yeah.
And I just
feel like the first couple months of the Eras tour was just such every emotion she could have possibly experienced in the same time.
Yeah,
like
it was just like chaotic. And like I also think, and I've said this before, I think she was emotionally, and I think this album shows us this as well, that she was emotionally checked out of the relationship with Joe way before it physically ended. So I think that's part of the reason, and I've said this before, that why sometimes it appears that she moves on quickly. It's because she moved on 6 months ago in her head.
Yeah, I think we got a lot more of the breakup in Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights than
in hindsight. Exactly. In hindsight, that's, I literally wrote that down at some point. In hindsight, Midnights is the breakup album, and this is the next chapter.
Yeah, this is like moving on from it.
And I also feel like this record feels different than the Eras. Like, I feel like we've kind of moved on from that, like, concept
of Eras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, specifically about this song.
Fascinating.
I like the sound a lot. I think the lyrics are so interesting and so funny.
They are. My favorite line, unironically, is, "You smoked, then ate 7 bars of chocolate. We declared Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist." Something about me, I love Charlie Puth so much.
When I heard that, I laughed out loud.
I
like, genuinely, I was like, Charlie Puth, what is happening?
Name drop, I know.
So, the name dropping is crazy on this song. On this song in general, but in this song,
so true.
The kill yourself. You told Lucy you were going to kill yourself, and I said the same thing to Jack. I was literally, this is probably the only time listening to this record that I really had a visceral reaction, because I was like, we're just, and this, she's dropping the fourth wall a lot on this record.
Yeah. And
that was like the first time I was like, oh, this is like really pointed.
This song makes you go, yeah, this is a different album.
And it also is like, oh, she's speaking directly to someone here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know who she's speaking to. And the other like line in this song that really, I was like, oh my gosh, was when she said the line about the rings. About how you took my ring off my middle finger and put it whatever. I don't remember.
I wrote it down because I said I didn't like that line. At dinner, you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on, and that's the closest I've come to my heart exploding. I mean, that is a jarring lyric.
It's so jarring, and it's like, really? That's when you felt like your heart was exploding? Not in the 6-year relationship that you were in?
Yeah. Well, it's in my head, it feels like it's just like a tease kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, haha, lol, let's take off your ring and put it here.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my God, this is like all I've really ever wanted from anyone. And that's, like, you're the first person to really like even joke about it.
There's a lot of like delusional moments in this song of like, I don't know. And I just feel like she writes her best music about these like intense crash and burn relationships. And like, I think, I don't even know.
I loved the comparison she made to the Dylan Thomas and Patti Smith, even though I didn't know who they were when I listened to it.
I still don't know.
Who? Oh, okay. So they were considered like legendary poets.
Okay.
Who frequented the Chelsea Hotel in Manhattan.
That makes sense.
So they wrote like a lot of poetry there, and they were like, kind of known for that. But I love that she like this whole song is just like almost making fun of the name Tortured Poets Department, whereas like this whole time we thought she was calling herself like part of the Tortured Poets Department, but now she's like, you know.
Well, I think Maddie Healy is the
poet.
co-chair of the Tortured Poet Department with her.
He is the founder.
He's the founder, the owner.
Yeah.
He's the owner of this house.
So in the song, she's kind of just like I think they're both really incredible writers, obviously. I mean, I do love the 1975. So I just think it's funny, like, they have such... This song makes you feel like they have such different perspectives, like, on their writing. And she's like, relax. You're not a tortured poet. Like, we're just idiots.
Yeah. Yes. And I think there's times where she's poking fun, but I do think there's times where she kind of gets a little serious. Yeah. When she's like, who's going to hold you like me, though? Like, when she says these things. Like, there's a lot of, like, tongue-in-cheek moments, but then there are moments where she gets serious. I really... like the production of this song. It reminds me a lot of like the 1989 Vault tracks. And I do think this song has a lot of trolling in it as well. Like even like the line about Charlie Puth, I'm like, were they kidding? Were they trolling? Were they kidding? Were they being serious?
No, Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. That man is so talented.
And he's a beautiful songwriter. He's a beautiful voice. I'm not saying that he's not. I just was like, what is...
I know. That's such a funny thing to put in a song.
Yeah.
Mention it.
And like, I don't know. I think it's so interesting how the song is written, how it's like paced is very interesting.
Yeah.
And like she has these moments where she is poking fun at, and then I love the line, everyone we know understand why it's meant to be because we're crazy. And I think later I have more written down about this, but I think Taylor and Maddie have a lot in common.
They do. And I've said this before on here and I almost regretted it, but I don't now. This is before she met Travis, but like them two dating makes so much sense to me. Like them two together, like, I mean, if he didn't go and screw it up so badly, they make a lot of sense together.
I've been seeing a lot people talking about the one being about him.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. This album was so telling in so many ways.
So
it's like crazy to go back and like, I don't know. I hate speculating, but in a way it's like she kind of opened it up for us to do that.
She opened it up on this one.
At this point she's like, I literally have nothing to lose. You guys are going to talk about me anyway. So here's everything.
Yeah, you might as well hear it from me than just try and guess.
Yeah. And she told us.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Oh God. All right.
Okay. So on to My Boy Breaks His Favorite Toys. This is one of the songs that she made a statement about. So it said, she said, "My boy only breaks his favorite toys" is a song I wrote alone. It's a metaphor of, the perspective of a child's toy being somebody's favorite toy until they break you and they don't want to play with you anymore, which is how a lot of us are in relationships when we are so valued by a person in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they break us or devalue us in their mind, and we're still clinging on to the no, you should have seen them when they first saw me, and that they'll come back to that. They get back. They get back to that, so it's kind of a song about denial, really. You should live in a world where there's still hope for a toxic broken relationship. So she said, I was crazy, I was in denial, and here you go.
Yeah. I don't have too many thoughts on this song, like, right off the bat. There's a few of these songs I haven't, like, fully, like, really processed.
Yeah, so this is what I wrote about it. I said I really love the production. I felt like it gave 1989 Vault vibes again. I felt like the line, "Here we go again, the voices in his head," called the rain out Days of Wild, is so interesting. I don't know why I thought it was interesting, but I did. Here we go again, the voices. Oh, no, okay, no, this is why I thought it was interesting. So here we go again, the voices in his head called the rain to end the days of wild. To me, this sounds like she's talking about Joe and him being like in his head, and like I feel like he almost like romanticizes sadness. Like I feel like we can kind of like see that through writing and the way that she's like talked about him, that he almost like romanticizes sadness and like love being hard and like really having to fight for it. And I feel like that was almost rubbing off on her. Like I think if you look at like the Great War, that's like a really good example of that. Like feeling like you almost have to like it's not real if you don't have to really fight for it. And I feel like that, I don't think that's true in love, but I think that kind of is maybe his perspective. Obviously, I'm speculating here. I don't know him. I've never talked to him. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
But just like the way that she talks about him and the way that she was talking about love for a while was that way. So I feel like this song, that is why that line stuck out to me. Like the voices in his head called the rain to end out the days of wild. So it's like,
I see it.
They were having fun. They were being like wild and carefree. And then his real personality, his melancholy really was being shown.
That would make sense. Whatever lyric the song is in, you don't get to tell me about sad. Or she's like, I'm just as sad.
That's it from So Long London.
Than you are. Like
exactly. And my first thought of listening to the song in whole is that she almost didn't feel good enough for him in the end. That like, and we've heard her say that before.
Yeah.
I think it's in Peace where she says, what's the line she says in Peace about that? Like, oh, I talk shit with my friends. It's like I'm wasting your honor. That same thing. Like, she doesn't feel like they're on the same moral high ground. And because the line where she says like, she talks about fixing herself and then he'll want her back.
Yeah.
And this is one of those songs that is very sad when you talk about it, but it doesn't sound that sad when you're listening to it.
Most of these songs, I feel like.
Yeah, and the
good majority.
The Put Me Back on the Shelf, I was like, she just felt so trapped there.
Yeah.
And like, even though she felt broken by it, it was almost like, I feel in some sense of relief to feel broken by it, because it was like, now I can end it. I can be done. I don't know.
Wow. I just wrote, the lyric I liked the best was, "'Cause you took me out of my box, stole my tortured heart, left all these broken parts, told me I'm better off, but I'm not."
I love the line. "'Cause I knew too much. There was danger in the heat of my touch. He saw forever, so he smashed it up."
Ouch. Oof. The other thing I wrote was, "This is such a Jack Antonoff beat." I feel like this was the first song I listened to, and I was like, come on, Jack. Come on.
I think it's really interesting that, as a whole, I think this record, the production is extremely similar to a 1975 album.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like, it's like a crazy thing she does. Like, she did it with the John Mayer song.
I mean,
like, she...
God, there's
I
one
love My
song,
Crazy Girl.
It's on the anthology, but there's one song I'm like, this is quite literally... And I said, like, okay, we'll get there eventually.
There's quite a few that are. I was just like, and even when I was listening to it for the very first time, and I'm not, like, I like the 1975. I've listened to their music lately. I'm not that familiar with their music, and I was like, this sounds like a 1975 song.
But then again, like, Jack does produce them, too, so.
I don't know about if he does anymore, but he did. Now we know why Maddie didn't go to his wedding.
Oh, my God. I wonder.
Ooh.
This is why you shouldn't, like, or I should say Taylor shouldn't work with her friends.
Yeah.
I feel like that gets
messy.
Yeah. Whatever.
But they're friends because they work together. So it's like,
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's how they became friends, is through working together.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're moving on to Down Bad.
Cool.
She also had something to say about this one. She said, "So a lot of the songs on the Tortured Poets Department deal with the idea of heartbreak or loss and a metaphor of something else. The metaphor in Down Bad is that I was comparing sort of the idea of being, like love bombed." She also, I feel so validated because she says like and so much when she talks. I'm like, you are the most prolific songwriter of our generation, and you're just like me. Anyway, love bomb, where someone likes, like, rocks your world and dazzles you, and just kind of abandons you as an alien abduction, where you were abducted by aliens, but you wanted... What the heck? Because a lot of times she would, like, pause and then, like, start her sentence over. So that's why I'm, like, confusing myself here. This girl's abducted by aliens, but she wanted to stay with them. Like, when they dropped her off back in her hometown, she's like, "Wait, no, where are you going? I liked it there. It was weird, but it was cool. Come back." So she's just the girl. The character in the song is just like, I've been exposed to a whole different galaxy and universe, and I don't know how it's possible that you can put me back where I was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
You don't get that vibe from the song? Is that
No,
what
I
you mean?
just don't understand what she's saying.
So she's talking about essentially, because in the beginning, how she like talks about. Here, where's my lyric
It's so
booklet?
hard because we don't like know the lyrics yet, so
I
it's
know.
hard to like. You're like, I know she says something about this here,
I
and
know.
it's
Yeah, that's why I got the
lyric
trusty
book.
lyric booklet here. So, did you really beam me up in a cloud of sparkling dust just to do experiments on me and tell me I was the chosen one? Show me this world is bigger than us. So, and then set me back where I came from a moment I knew cosmic love.
That part. Wow. Okay. Because I was like, what the hell?
What
is
does
she saying?
aliens have to do with anything? Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
that's what she's saying. So she says it like she's saying that it feels like an alien came and took her, showed her love, and then put her back.
Oh, so this is kind of just like her assimilating back to, like.
I'm gonna kill this cat. She just wants in and out and she's driving me crazy. Sorry.
What was he saying?
Assimilate.
Oh, yeah, it's her just like trying to assimilate back into like
Life
dating
after
this abduction.
Exactly.
Damn.
I know. Her
That's
brain is crazy.
Because I wrote down first reaction, underwhelmed. I think because I did like a ranking of the tracks, and I thought Down Bad was going to be my favorite. So like hearing it for the first time, I was like, huh?
Yeah. So
But again, I have a total of 1 brain cell. So
yeah. Well, my initial thought was I love the cadence. I immediately wrote down needs a second listen.
yeah.
I also think this song shows that it's hard. It's alien to her to be the pursuer in a relationship. I feel like she wanted him and was pursuing him. Not that it wasn't reciprocated, but I think she's not used to being
the one who is pursued.
like she's used to being the one that's pursued, I think.
Oh. Okay.
I think that I think whatever happened with them 10 years ago has been stuck in her head for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this cat. She just is relentless and will not stop if I don't let her in. And she's back.
Hello.
She said hello. She wants to be a part of the girl talk. You're driving me crazy. Anyway, so my thoughts are just gone now. What was I don't even.
Them 10 years ago.
Oh, and it was like stuck in her head, I think. And I think she was probably the one that reached out first.
Yeah, we see that in Fresh Out the Slammer.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Guilty of Sin. Come on.
I feel like this entire, whatever they had in 2015, 2014, like, I think it was, they probably thought it was right person, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then all these years later, like, I mean, there are so many lyrical parallels in every 1975 album that like parallel Taylor's music and like vice versa.
Yeah.
I just feel like, yeah, maybe they have been really good friends. They have been like always thinking like, what if, you know, wrong time, whatever. It's
the
like
one.
she was in.
Yeah,
Hello,
exactly.
I mean, she was just in this like long-term relationship, and it probably felt hopeless. And then her reaching back out, and then it's like. Then we got this album because it didn't work out and it messed her up so bad.
Yeah, my first thought listening to the song was that it was like a least favorite, but I've completely switched on that. I actually really want to do like a lyrical analysis on this song and like really break it down. I just think there's so many really interesting parts of it, and I also wrote down, did Maddie just want to see what it was like to date Taylor Swift? Like I think she in her head was like really thinking about him and really being like, yeah, like right person, wrong time. Like maybe this will really work out. And was he just like, haha, yeah, but like, what's it going to be like to date Taylor Swift?
I do think he really loved her. I really do.
You do?
I think he did. I just think that like, the thing is you have to understand like all this Maddie Healy lore. Like there's so much to this man.
I feel like just from like the outside, and you can like correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he self-sabotages because he doesn't think he's good enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's what he did here.
And he has like a lot of like issues with drugs and alcohol, and like that's been a thing. And I just feel like there's a lot of things in his life that like make him feel like he's not
worthy.
So he does self-sabotage, I think. I think he didn't want to mess it up with her, but he did. Yeah. Because that's just who he is.
Here I really love the run of like the Torture Poets Department, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, and then Down Bad. I think there's like it's such an interesting
Oh, good.
3-song run. I really like that. And some lyrics that stood out to me was, tell me I was the chosen one, show me that this world is bigger than us, then set me back where I came from the moment I knew cosmic love. So it was like the second she felt like she was like, oh, this is what love is supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to feel like. This is what it is. I'm in love. And then he was like, just kidding. Boop. And just dropped her off. I also really think the line of, like, I lost my twin, what if I can't have him, is so interesting because
I wrote that too. I wrote so interesting. Yeah.
Because I really think in a lot of ways he is her twin. I think
Yes.
I want to read you the exact text I sent to my friend because one of my really good friends is a huge 1975 fan. So we've been talking obviously about it. And I said to her, I said, they're both really prolific songwriters. They have intense parasocial relationships with their fans and lots of lore. They're highly scrutinized by the media, and I'm sure they have a level of understanding of each other that she hasn't really experienced before.
Yep.
And I just think that they have a lot in common. I think they both are like these incredible songwriters that are almost like a little embarrassed by being songwriters. They're almost like, I should be doing something more important in the world, I think. But then they're like, no, I do love this and it's my passion and it's what I'm best at. I just feel like they have so much in common that twin line really, really stuck out to me.
And that goes back to the, like, who's going to know you, who's going to hold you. Like
Yes,
me.
exactly. Who nobody else gets it. Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways it's kind of sad because you can see that the way that Maddie deals with fame and like the pressure in the past, I don't know what his journey is like right now in this moment, but in the past it has been lots of drugs and alcohol. And for her, that mostly hasn't been the case, at least not to a point where it's like a serious problem like it is for him. And I feel like she's just like, let me show you the way. Let me show you how to deal with this.
We're going to get to that in a few songs.
It comes up again and again. And I just, I don't know. I also love the line, all your indecent exposures, how dare you say that's it. I'll build. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All your decent exposures, how dare you say that it's, and it's like she like stops. She can't even say that it's over.
Yeah.
I loved that. And then I'll build your fort on some other planet where they can all understand it, because obviously everyone doesn't understand why she would ever want to be with him, kind of thing, because he has such a negative image in the world by most people. And how you dare you think it's romantic leaving me safe and stranded, because what if I was in love? And I almost wonder if he broke it off with her because he was like, this is like, people are never going to accept this, and I don't want you to come down with me. And that's why she says, how dare you think it's romantic leaving me safe and stranded? So he's just like, I need to leave because other people can't handle this, and I don't want you to get shit for me. So I'm just gonna leave you because it's safer. Yeah. And to him that's like romantic. It's like, I'm putting you first. And she's like, but I'm in love. No, stay here with me. I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's wild.
That's how like my brain thinks of it. I don't know if that's how it was meant to be thought of, but
yeah, there's a million different ways you can think about like any of these, really.
And that's why I think it's such incredible songwriting, and I think the writing here is some of her best. Do I think all of these songs are going to be my new favorite song and like top 10 for me? I'm not sure, but I think the writing is just so good.
Yeah, we needed something like different from her.
Yeah.
And we got it.
We did. Sure. All right. So Long London.
Oh boy. This intro. like so beautiful.
So beautiful. It felt familiar to me. I'm like, what does this remind me of? I still haven't really put
Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Okay. Yes, that's it.
That's what I wrote down.
Yep.
That's what it feels like a little bit.
I feel like a lot of these songs have some familiarity to them.
Yeah, but then again, it's Taylor Swift writing a Taylor Swift album, so of course they're going to sound like other Taylor Swift songs.
Correct. I thought it was really a sad song, but it wasn't as cutting as I was expecting.
No, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like she really like gave it to Joe in this. Like, I feel like she didn't paint him in such a bad light, and she didn't like tear him apart in any of these songs.
I don't think she did. And I was saying again to my friend the other day that, or I was actually today, that I was saying that I actually almost think it's kind of funny that she didn't, because I think he almost wanted the attention of that.
I
And
don't
again,
know.
coming back to the complex of like, I think he feels like the bravest soldier when he fights through the hard things. And like, I think he gets validation from making it through hard things. So I think he almost kind of wanted it. And I think it's funny that she didn't give it to him.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't think he wanted to be talked about at all. Because I really don't think the relationship was bad, and the way that fans were making it sound, like their theories were making them sound like they thought it was like this awful toxic relationship. So then these theories going out into the universe got back to Joe, and then him being like, I don't want that attention because it wasn't bad. Like, I really think that he didn't think she had anything.
But I
Bad to
also am
say.
like, if you really didn't think that, then why say anything?
Because people were attacking him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, he has a right to like
And it's like you
defend
haven't
himself.
even heard anything yet. Like, you don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing she said about him is that he was boring, and she felt like she was trapped in this relationship. But being trapped could have been her own doing, not necessarily him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not like gonna defend him or whatever.
Well, no. I just think, yeah, I agree with you that she doesn't really have anything that cutting to say about him completely. Yeah. I think in this song it's really interesting because I think she's using London in place of his name. And I think honestly what she's the most pissed off about when it comes to him is she's really resentful of the time that she like lost, and like she like gave him her youth, and but she almost still kind of wishes the best for him, because she says, you'll find someone, I'll find someone. Like, it doesn't seem like anger with him personally.
It's just, anger with the whole situation of like
yes.
that.
And I wonder if it's a little bit of anger at herself for not leaving sooner.
Yeah, I mean, she dated him like in those like prime years of dating that people date to like get married, like 25 to 30. Whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, I can, yeah.
And I just feel like this song is like really tired. Like, I feel like I
wrote down like her voice is quivering in a lot of spots. Like, it feels like it's really hard to get out.
Yeah.
She's exhausted.
And I feel like she just like fought for so long and hard that it's just not really like venomous or cutting really. It's just tired.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost kind of how the relationship kind of ended. It was just like, we're both tired of this sadness. And yeah, I think for me, lyrics that stuck out, like this whole first like really verse, honestly, I saw in my mind fairy lights through the mist, I kept calm and carried the weight of the rift, pulled him in tighter each time he was drifting away, my spine split from carrying us up the hill.
Ouch.
Yeah. And then like, I stopped trying to make him laugh, stopped trying to drill the safe, thinking, how much sad do you think I had in me?
It's so devastating.
It is devastating.
It's so devastating. Like, and I was expecting her to be like, fuck you, London, I hate it here, blah, blah, blah. But, like, this song was so, like, you made me fall in love. Like, you made me leave everything I ever knew and then fall in love with this place, and then you just, like, left me here.
Yeah. Another line, the holding tight to your quiet resentment, and my friend said it isn't right to be scared every day of a love affair. Every breath feels like the rarest air. Gee, like, damn.
And like, what's the line that comes after that? It's like something when you're not sure if he wants to be there.
Every day of a love affair, every breath feels like the rarest air when you're not sure if he wants to be there. So how much sad do you think I had? So what do you think she means by that? How much sad do you think I had?
I don't know.
Part of me is like, I'm not sure if she's talking about like empathy, like how much empathy do you think I had for your sad, or if she's talking about like how long did you think I could live in this sadness, and like me trying to get a commitment out of you, me trying to like make this work, like how much do you think it? Yeah,
because I feel like maybe they were sad in different ways too, and it's like he felt misunderstood
Mm-hmm.
and she felt misunderstood in her sadness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I
That
also,
line is confusing.
yeah, it is confusing. I love at the very end of the song when she uses a turn of phrase where she says, "For so long, London had a good run, a moment of warm sun, but I'm not the one. So long, London." I like that. I just think it's clever. I like when she does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great track 5.
I do
know
too.
there's
I've
been a
been
lot
seeing
of debate.
people debating. I think it is. I mean, yeah, I think it's really a sad song. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very sad. And I love the production of this one.
Me too. I love the production of it also. Who did this one? Is it Aaron? Yeah.
Of course.
All right. But Daddy, I love him. My very first thought when this song came on, I was like, okay, this is Love Story grown up. Like, it just gives me Love Story vibes. I don't know why. I feel like it's like Love Story, but it didn't work out.
Well, yeah. Okay. I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, because love story is like Romeo and Juliet, like this forbidden, like love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally screenshotted the post chorus and the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I'll just read it. I'll tell you something right now. I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. I don't cater to all these vipers dressed in empath's clothing. That part had me shook.
I just need you to know I have that exact same thing written down right here.
And then, like, the bridge that comes after it, that God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me, sanctimoniously, performing soliloquies I'll never see, thinking it can change the beat of my heart when he touches me and counteract the chemistry and undo the destiny. You ain't gotta pray for me and my wild boy and all of his wild joy. If all you want is gray for me, then it's just white noise, and it's just my choice.
Yeah.
I was like, she sat us down and mothered.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. I put, she's calling out the virtue signalers bad.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what I wrote down. Like, my initial thoughts were, it's very melodramatic, which I've said it once, I'll say it again. I love it when she's dramatic. Again, we get that breaking of the fourth wall. I wrote down that I liked the bridge. I do think this song is like a hair too long.
Really?
I wish it was a little shorter. The religious imagery in this album is there is so much religious imagery. It's like that and the breaking of the fourth wall. It happens. It's like crazy. Like you said, it really feels like she's like sitting you down and reprimanding you.
It does, yeah.
I also like this is like funny, but not funny. Well, whatever. The Wild Boy Wild Joy I think is so cringy. I'm sorry. It makes me cringe every single time it comes out. I'm like, she sounds like a millennial mom. Which okay, yes,
no,
I know.
Some of those lyrics really.
I know she is a hardcore millennial, but like my wild boy and his wild joy. Like it sounds like a mom writing about her toddler.
That's how I feel about the entire song The Alchemy, but we'll get there. Oh my god, Taylor.
And then
and the line, "No, I'm not coming to my senses. I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want." I said, "Oh,
okay." And then we have to talk about the "I'm having his baby." No, I'm not, but you should see your faces. Hilarious.
That's so funny.
Funny. Just she's being angry and funny and like I feel like we're seeing a side of her personality that you only know is there if you really are like tuned in, and that's again why I feel like it's so off-putting to the general public.
Yes.
This album is for people that already love her.
Yeah.
And like actually love her.
And that's why she had to sit us down and tell us like,
enough.
Please stop. You think you want what's best for me, but like
but you're annoying.
I'm going to determine that actually, not you. So stop. And also no, you can't come to the wedding. Immediately thought of Jack's wedding and like all those people who rushed down the shore to try and get a glimpse of her.
Yeah.
Like, get a fucking grip, people.
Get a life.
You can't come to my life. Like you're not part of this.
Yes. Agreed.
I really love this song.
I think it's good, funny, great. It also feels like very quintessential Taylor Swift to me. Yeah. All right. Fresh out the slammer.
The only thing I wrote down for the song, I just put, this song makes it clear how long this relationship has been a long time coming. Like her relationship with Maddie.
Yeah. So the very first time I listened to it, at first I thought she was like talking about having like being in a toxic relationship and having like a fight and continually going back to the same person. Like at first, when I first time I listened to it, that's how I heard it. It was like, oh, this is only about one person. And then I quickly realized like, oh no, this is about moving on and getting out of the toxic relationship and running to someone else. I think this song is like sexy. I love the production and the delivery and the vocals on the track. Like it has like this like sexiness to it that I love. It also shows again how mentally checked out she was with her relationship with Joe.
No, you're right. It does, like, definitely in the beginning here, she's definitely talking about like being with Joe, these silent dinners. He was with her in dreams.
Yeah.
Like gray and blue and fights in tunnels.
Yeah.
Handcuffed to the spell I was under. Yeah. And then it's like, oh my God. Yeah. And then she leaves it and
And I just love the line that now, pretty baby, I'm running back home to you, fresh out the slammer. I know who my first call will be to.
yeah.
And then I also wrote down the handcuffed to the spell I was under for just 1 hour of sunshine. So it just seems like, oh, I'm sorry, that he was miserable a lot of the time. And she was just like doing anything she could to get the moments of happiness out of it. And that's what would keep her coming back. And I also think my friends tried, but I wouldn't hear it. Watch me daily disappearing for just one glimpse of his smile. It's interesting to hear about her friends being maybe like, this is bad. Like, why are you staying here? Like, you see a couple times she like talks about her friends that were like, what's going on? Like, what? This is unhealthy. And she was not listening.
Yeah.
And then I also think the ending of the song is really interesting. The last line is but it's going to be all right. I did my time. And I think this to me again points back to her belief, and I think this came from her relationship with Joe. I could be wrong, but her belief of like love has to be hard. And I feel like for her getting out of this relationship, she was like, okay, I did the hard relationship. I tried really hard. I worked, and it didn't work out because for whatever reason, but I tried my best. I went through all of the difficult, I tried to fight. I tried to be the bravest soldier. It didn't work. I did that. So now I can like have a different kind of love. Something that's easier and feels lighter.
Yeah. Felt that.
Yeah. All right. We're on to Florida.
God, there are so many songs in this album.
I know.
We're only on number 8.
I know.
Florida.
And we've been talking for 55 minutes.
I know. Okay.
I'm tired, guys.
Florida is the song that stood out to me the most when I first heard it. I love this song so much. I think the production is fantastic. I think she's singing with her whole chest.
Yeah.
Here.
I am glad you like the song because I've been seeing people saying they don't. And
Crazy to
I
me.
think that's crazy.
Yeah, I just think it's misunderstood. It feels out of place because people don't think it fits with the theme of the album, I feel like, but
yeah. So she made a statement about the song.
Okay.
She said, Florida is a song I wrote with Florence the Machine. I think I was coming up with the idea of like what happens when your life doesn't fit or choices you've made catch up to you. And you're just surrounded by these harsh consequences and judgment and circumstances did not lead you to where you thought you would be. And you just want to escape from everything you've ever known. Is there a place you could go? I'm always watching Dateline. And people, that have these crimes they commit where they immediately skip town and go to Florida. They try to reinvent themselves and have a new identity and blend in. And I think when you go through a heartbreak, there's a part of you that thinks, I want a new name. I just want a new life. I don't want anyone to know where I've been or know me at all. So that was like the jumping off point behind where would you go if you want to reinvent yourself and blend in Florida. So
I did think it was funny though. I'm like, the first time I listened to it, I'm like, has this girl ever been to Florida? She's like romanticizing like getting a timeshare in Destin.
I know. She's been to Tampa and Miami to perform. That's probably about it. My initial thoughts were that I really loved the vibe. We're breaking the fourth wall. I love Florence and the Machine. Florence and the Machine is my mom's favorite band, so I very much grew up listening to them and like really connect with their music because of that. So I just love to hear them together. I think that song's fun, and I don't know. So I did see a tweet. This is where my and I believe this is my the new fact of my life.
This is the new fact of my life.
Oh, where's the tweet? Okay. So, this person tweeted. I don't know how to pronounce their name, so I don't want to butcher it, so I will put it in the show notes. Oh my god. Maddie Healy is Florida. It's a metaphor for him. The whole song just clicked. Her home, where she's just a guest, Joe. Timeshare, Maddie. Florida can use you up to get away from. Can I use you up to get away from Joe? I need to forget. Take me to Florida. Florida show was post breakup, and then he said, "It has absolutely been clicking for me the entire time. It's just been one of my." Wait, what? Okay, sorry. Not relevant. But I agree with this, I think.
Okay.
I think it's, again, and I wrote down that I thought she was using London in place of Joe's name before I saw this theory. And this is what I said to my friend about it, because, again, we were talking about it literally today. I said, it's interesting to think of London as Joe and Maddie in Florida and the juxtaposition of the reputations of those two places. Like, if you think about, like, the reputation that the city of London has, a lot of people will tell you it's boring, there's not much to do, that
True.
It's, like, sad, it rains all the time, it's very gray, it's pretentious.
Yeah.
That's the public reputation that Joe seems to have. And then when you hear people talk about Florida, it's like, it's the wild, wild west down there. It's crazy. It's controversial. That sounds a lot like Maddie Healy's public persona.
Yeah.
So I just think it's interesting. Whether it's true or not, to think of it that way is just an interesting.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I just took it. I saw that tweet too, and I was like, I don't know. It feels to me just like her wanting something different for her. Like, and her going to Florida makes zero sense to anybody because she's Taylor Swift and like her, retiring.
She's never gonna live in Florida.
I'm like, but I feel like she was feeling so crazy. She was like trying to escape the shitstorm of everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think the lyrics that were interesting to me. If you can beat the heat, you can beat the heat if you beat the charges too. They say I was a cheat. I guess it must be true. And she loves an emotional cheating moment for sure. And my friends, I love this line because it feels so real to me. And my friends all smell like weed or little babies.
Yeah, I wrote that down too.
And this
so true.
City reeks of driving myself crazy. It's like, it's like being in that time of life where it's like half your friends have kids and smell like babies, and the other half are still smoking weed and being crazy.
That's real.
It is so real
and true.
Yeah. Let's see the other lyric line that stuck out to me. Oh, this was interesting to me. Well, me and my ghost, we had a hell of a time. Yes, I'm haunted, but I feel just fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I think it's interesting. And I also like the line, so I did my best to lay to rest all the bodies that have ever been on my body, and in my mind, they sink into the swamp. Is that a bad thing to say on a song?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good time writing this.
They did. And
they did.
You can feel it when they're singing it, that they're having fun. The girls are being girls, They're having a giggle.
And they're giving zero shits about anything. They're like, let's write whatever the hell we want. Is that a crazy thing to put in a song? Who
Yeah,
cares? We're
it
just
is.
gonna put that line in a song.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. On to guilty as sin. So the first thing I wrote down about this was vocals are hitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I also then said definitely about Maddie because the Downtown Lights reference.
Yeah.
He's like openly said that he loves that.
He sampled the Downtown Lights in one of the 1975 songs.
Yeah, there you go. And he loves Blue Nile. That's like very known.
Yeah.
I also wrote the song feels delivery. I said it feels familiar.
Yeah.
Love the delivery and the cadence, and it's a little saucy.
It is. Yeah.
And that I also wrote that the lyrics are really insane, and deeply human and honest.
Yeah. 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 This is like the emotional cheating in my head, and I'm gonna admit it to everybody.
Yep.
That I'm thinking about him.
Yep. My boredom's bone deep in this cage was once just fine. Am I allowed to cry? Is like a
yeah. Yeah, the line, there's no such thing as bad thoughts, only your actions talk. I feel like someone said that to her. I think she said, like, my friend, someone said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like that gave her permission to, like, fantasize about whoever, you know.
Yeah, and she calls Maddie a paradox in this song, and I feel like she illustrates that a lot through this record of, like, him being a paradox to her, which I thought was really interesting for her to just, like, flat out say he's a paradox. Like, that's literally what the line is. Also, okay. You know I'm not the one to be on the delusional theories over here. But this line actually stuck out to me, and I had this thought myself before I saw it anywhere on the internet. But keeping these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault.
Yeah.
That, to me, and then also it brought me back to in Fresh Out the Slammer when she says, swirled you into all of my poems. I'm like, is she telling us that, again, like songs on folklore and things like that, like had him intertwined through them? Like the it's really weird to me, the lowercase inside a vault. Like, what is she? Yeah.
Like unfinished?
Or, to me, I'm like all the titles on folklore were lowercase. That's immediately where my mind went.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, okay, maybe that's just crazy, but like,
no,
I thought it was weird when she did that, and then to hear it called out in a song like these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault. Huh? That's just immediately where my brain went. And then I saw somebody else say it, and I was like, okay, I'm not psychotic.
That makes sense.
And like, I'm not saying that those songs are all about him, but
no,
maybe they were weaved in.
Or she wrote a lot of songs about him at the time and locked them away.
Swirled you into all of my poems is what she says in Fresh Out the Slammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my brain is, I'm moving a mile a minute right now. I'm like trying to like
just processing it. Yeah.
I can see that. I took that line as like, I wrote a lot about you, but I'm never going to release it. Like, it's locked away because...
Yeah, and that might be the answer. The lowercase is just really throwing me off.
The lowercase is a weird...
It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
And then, what if I roll the stone away? They're going to crucify me anyway. What if you hold me? The way you hold me is actually what's holy.
Again. Jesus.
Yeah, literally Jesus.
Literally, when I was listening to this, I went, roll the stone. Jesus? Crucify Jesus?
Like, again, I've said it a million times, I feel like, but the religious imagery in this is... I want to know why. I want to talk to her and be like, what is going on here?
Her religious journey.
Me too.
I know in the past she's like called herself Christian. I want to know what that means for her.
Yeah, I do too.
Because she, like, throughout her entire discography, she writes a lot about it in different ways.
Yeah, she just uses it as a metaphor a lot.
I'm like, do you have a religious trauma also? Do you, like, where did that go wrong for you? What happened?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to know.
I know. I agree. All right. You have anything else for that one? Any other thoughts?
No, nothing relevant.
All right. So, who's afraid of little old
Can I
me?
just say this is my favorite song? I think maybe of all time.
I am obsessed with this song.
No, I can't get enough. I can't get enough of it. I want it
It is
injected into my bloodstream.
everything I love about Taylor Swift is in this song. The dramatics, the like poking fun at public opinion, comedy. This to me is some of her greatest writing, and I love that it's not landing with the general public really, because you are proving the point here that you don't get it and you can go. You can leave this. Get out of here, please.
Yeah.
So when she said, "Who's afraid of little old me? You should be," for the first time, I laughed out loud. Genuinely, I was cracking up. This song also brings out the Swiftie in me so bad. I want to beat up everyone who's ever said anything bad about her. That video that you posted on TikTok where you were like, "Oh, like that." That's what the song does to me.
Yeah.
It brings out the Swiftie in me so deeply.
No, same. I completely agree. I feel like this is less about like people who have like talked shit about her, like whether that's like non-fans or like media or whatever, and it's more about like the way she was trained to present herself her whole life.
Yes.
And like the label and like
I was just gonna say, I feel like it's a big commentary on the music industry as a whole.
Because I think this album for the first time was making people realize like Taylor Swift was literally like a child star, and we don't really realize
people don't
that
associate her with that being that way.
Right, she wasn't like in TV shows where we typically see child stars come out or whatever. Like she was raised in this environment that was so like cutthroat and like she was tame, she was gentle, and then she was thrown into the circus, and now she's mean. She's mean and she's terrifying, and you should be afraid. But people still see her like I feel like that's her telling us too. Like we're like, oh baby girl, like she's so mother, like we love her. Yeah. But she's like, I'm literally like
I'm crazy. And they did this to me. Yeah, and I think she's genuinely pissed off in some of this, and I don't think it's all satire. I think some parts of it have that satirical element to them, but I think she's pissed, and she should be.
Who produced this? Because he did a phenomenal job.
I think it's Jack.
Phenomenal.
Well, it's a solo, right? Yeah. So it doesn't have anybody. It doesn't have any credit to it except her.
Well,
it sounds like Jack to me personally.
Yeah.
But
no, it probably is. I just think it's perfect beginning to end, like.
And I think like it just really talks about how her level of fame is lonely. I feel like this song is like a "Look What You Made Me Do" ex Mad Woman. Like that's.
It is very Mad Woman.
Yeah. Good. And I also think like even like Dear Reader and Mirrorball, it's just commentary on the way the public views her. And she kind of pokes fun at them a little bit, but you can really feel the anger behind it too.
Yeah. I love that she like there are all these little themes that she continues to write about like this, and they're all so different.
I know.
Like, and I love that we just get like one with every album.
Right. Like Look What You Made Me Do, Mad Woman, Dear Reader, Mirrorball, and this song are all 5 very different songs that are really have the same general theme, which is so interesting.
It's crazy that she can do that.
Her brain is crazy. I knew this song was going to be dramatic, like just from the title, but honestly, I feel like this song also paints her in like not necessarily a flattering light. Like she's like, I'm mean, I'm vicious, like this is like what I've become, and it's I don't know whose fault it is, but this is how it is.
Yeah.
I think there's so many lyrics that stand out to me in the song. One of them being, if you wanted me dead, you should have said nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. If you wanted me dead, you should have just said, nothing makes me feel more alive. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, crash the party like a wreckage scratch as I scream. I love it.
This is one of those songs that you just hear and you're like, I can't wait till I know all the words so I can sing along with it.
Yes.
Like I just want to sing it with my whole chest.
I want to hear her perform this live so bad.
God.
And not acoustically. Like I need it. I need it.
Yeah, it would be insane live. Like full band.
Is it a wonder I broke? Let's hear one more joke so we could all just laugh until I cry. Yeah, and then I put down, I was tame, I was gentle till the circus made me mean. I love the way she delivers the word mean.
Yeah.
It just sounds so good. And then you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. I think I have a thought about this section here. So all your kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. I'm always drunk on my own tears. Isn't that what they all say? I also think the change in production here is crazy. How it goes from being like this intense to then that I'll sue you if you step on my lawn, that I'm fearsome and I'm wretched and I'm wrong. And I almost wonder if this is a little bit of a commentary on the lawsuits that happened last year in relation to Olivia Rodrigo and stuff. If it's like, I just think it's interesting that you said they can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. So to me, I'm like, you sneak in the house to steal something, likely. And it's like she felt as if her work was copied, stolen, whatever. And then she did something about it. And then she's fearsome and wretched and wrong. I don't know if that's what it is commentary on, but that was immediately a thought that I had when I heard the song for the first time. And I'm also obsessed with the line of putting narcotics in all my songs, and that's why you're still singing along.
Like, so true. We say that all the time.
We say that all the time, and you can also, like, if you hear, like, you know, people on Facebook that are like, she's the devil, she's putting witchcraft in her song so it's stuck in your head, and she's... Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely sees everything. She says she does it, but she sees it all.
She sees it all.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. I can fix him. No, really, I can. I don't have much to say about this one.
I love that it comes right after Who's Afraid of Little Me, because I feel like this song is talking about someone who is like has a very bad reputation and like, you know, the public hates whatever. Coming right after a song where she's like, I grew up in this, I know how to like present myself, and I know like I can be mean about it,
so I can fix you and teach you.
Yeah.
I think this track list makes a lot of sense. I think it's actually one of the most thought out track lists that she's ever put out.
I haven't even thought about like the order of things, but I loved those two. Like when I sat down to write about these, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That is so crazy.
Yeah. This is actually, I think, one of my least favorites. I love the ending of the song. Maybe this was just, maybe it's just not clicking for me yet, and maybe it will. I don't know.
No, I feel that about quite a few songs. I'm like, I haven't like, it's not there for me yet.
Yeah.
But that's really all I put, was just that I like that it makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah.
She knows he doesn't present well, but she's gone through scrutiny her entire career, and she can handle it and teach him too. And then at the end being like, oh, maybe I can't.
I also just want to point out the lyric. His hand so calloused from his pistol, because we're gonna come back to that later. I thought that was an interesting lyric. And I like it even more when I think about it in relation to another song.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so moving on kind of quickly here, because that one really, not really sure. But LOML, I think this is the saddest song on the record. Potentially one of her saddest songs, literally ever.
I agree. I've listened to the song maybe once because I don't have the emotional capacity for it.
Again, with the religious imagery, I really want to analyze this song too. Like, I really want to break it down, talk about it lyric by lyric.
My favorite lyric is the still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried.
You know what I really like about the production in this song? I like that it kind of took a back seat. It's very soft, and it's really about the writing.
Yeah, I think it needed to be.
Yeah.
For what she wanted to say.
And I think like it talks a lot about how he was actively telling her that he was in love with her and he loved her, and I think that she really believed him. And she isn't like saying that, but you can like hear it, and you can feel she like kind of regrets it. And I wonder if she's almost a little embarrassed to have believed it and fell for it.
Feels
like
foolish.
Yes, because I mean, a con man sells a fool a get love quick scheme.
Yeah.
But I felt a hole like this never before and ever since.
Oh, that whole part about the like I felt this, whatever that line is that
Yeah.
you said, that she repeats like a few times.
Oh my gosh, this cat is
That
really.
is hurt. I also, can I just say, I laughed out loud and rolled my eyes at all of the people who thought that she was gonna say "Loss of My Life" in
And
this
then she
song.
did.
And then she did. I like jaw dropped. I was like, "There's no way she just said you were the loss of my life."
Yeah.
I did not believe she was gonna do that.
This yeah, I kind of thought maybe because it was like, I felt like if it was just Love of My Life, it would have been just called that.
Yeah. Or she could have called it like "Love of Your Life."
True.
She does say like, "You said I was the love of your life."
True. I think one of the most interesting parts to me, I just love the delivery on it, was she says, "In your suit and tie, in the nick of time, you low down boy, you stand up guy, you Holy Ghost." Just like the up and down of that, I just think it's beautiful. The song is deeply heartbreaking.
It is.
And
that's why I don't think I've like really taken the time with it. I just can't.
Yeah, it's really.
Can't do that.
And this next 3-song run is crazy. Like, from Love of My Life to I Can Do It With a Broken Heart to The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is whiplash. That is whiplash.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on I Can Do It With a Broken Heart? I really hope that they're the same as mine.
It was my favorite song after the first listen.
I love it so
After the first, like, you know what it really truly comes down to? I am not smart and I can't really think about things as I'm reading them. So I think half of these songs I was like, okay, I know that I like them, but I don't think I know what they're talking about. But when it came to I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, I was like, this is so very obvious what it's about, and the production's fun. And I think that's why I really liked it. It's still one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's giving performance Barbie.
Yeah.
I love the production this is like peak Jack Antonoff for me. Like how it's like the way the production goes from like, it's like performance Barbie to like her inner thoughts, and then back to performance Barbie, and then the counting in is so good, and you can like kind of hear like the laughing in the background, and I don't know, I just love this production.
It puts you at the Eras Tour.
Yes. And like, it's just, yeah, the song is upbeat and it seems to mimic the Eras Tour in parts, and then I don't know, like, it just, and I feel like for her, like, being tough about this heartbreak makes her feel powerful.
Yeah.
And like, almost, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, she even says in there, she's like, you're good when you can do it with the burger. And she's like, I'm good. And the very last line, try and come for my job. She's like, and then, none of you could do this.
I also don't appreciate you saying no one knows you're miserable, because I knew you were miserable. We knew. There were many times throughout this Eras Tour that we knew you were miserable, sis.
I mean,
so don't disrespect me.
I don't know. I think the general thing has been like, wow, she's having the time of her life. Like, this is like the biggest tour. She's having so much fun.
Right, which I do think is true, but I also think there are times where she's singing songs that I'm watching her completely dissociate, and I'm like, oh, you're unwell.
Yeah.
I also love the lights, camera, bitch smile. I love it. Because it kind of reminds me of Let's 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch, a little bit.
Kind of, yeah. No, so true. I wrote that in all caps. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. I fear that this will be my new thing. Like, I'm going to be saying that in every possible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just be.
Yeah. Lights, camera, bitch, smile.
It in. That's just.
Every time I'm going at a wedding, when I tell people to smile, that's what I'm going to say now.
I thought you were going to say that to hype yourself up to go shoot an 8-hour.
Oh, no. No, I'm going to say that to them. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. Click.
They're going to be like, what?
Just kidding, I'm not going to say that.
I love, so the line, I'm so depressed I act like it's my birthday every day, was so confusing to me up until I realized, is she talking about the fact that she sings 22 at every show?
Oh.
Where it's kind of like her birthday, you know?
No, yeah.
So she's
that's
like,
a good thought.
That was like my first.
I was just thinking she was just saying that, like, because your birthday is like fun and exciting. So she's just like, I'm acting like it's my birthday. Like, so I'm like, I'm not depressed. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But I like that. Yeah. That thought. I didn't have that at all, but I like it.
Because I just relate everything, all these lyrics back to the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been comparing this song to Suburban Legends. Have you seen that?
No.
Like the production of it, or did I say that word right? Production, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the TikToks that'll be like, it's like the picture sliding thing, and it has like the lyrics to this, and then you slide, and then it has the lyrics to Suburban Legends, and they like combine the song. I guess the production's like kind of similar in like a weird way.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but
I don't know. I didn't
I
quite
haven't
see it
listened
at
to
first.
Suburban Legends in a while. So, well, I was actually listening to it for a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Someone also said it's bejeweled, but make it depressed.
I saw that. I did see that. I also saw. Are we good with this one? Do you have anything else to say?
Oh
about
no, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So I saw somebody. Well, I think the transition. This is crazy. Like the opening breath of "The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived" is wild, and I saw somebody say that I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is like her when she's like at the Eras tour, like whatever, like trying to just smile through it all, and then The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is when she lays down in bed and she starts thinking.
Damn.
And she's just like, and I was like,
That's crazy.
shocked.
She's like, I'm so depressed. It's my birthday every day, and then the next song, she's like, here's why I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Let me spell it out for you.
Yes.
I've got to say, like, I know I said this in the beginning, but this is my second favorite song on the album, I think, only because of the bridge. Like, I feel like the bridge carries this song so well.
Yeah. She's pissed. This song, she is pissed. This song is female rage. It makes me want to go find Matty Healy and drag him to prison. It's one of the... I think I said this before. It is one of the most cutting songs. I honestly... All Too Well is the only other song that even comes close to this, and this is meaner, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree? Disagree?
I don't think All Too Well is mean.
Yeah, I don't think it is mean either. And this is a little...
I mean, this, yeah. Yeah, this cuts. Like, I do think this song is a weapon.
Yeah, it's...
For sure.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't really know if I can think of, like, another song to compare it to that she, like...
Yeah.
Wrote similarly.
Your Jehovah's Witness suit sent me. I was laughing at that, and then I quickly wasn't laughing anymore. But
Quickly wasn't.
that I don't even want you back. I just want to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal.
That line, like that coming after I Can Do It With a Broken Heart again. Yeah.
And you hung me on your wall and stabbed me with your pushpins. Were you sent by someone who wants me dead? Did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? And I think that's interesting when you point back to the line that says, his hand's so callous from his pistol. It's clever.
Yeah.
That
is crazy.
I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this entire... Oh, God.
You deserve prison, but you won't get time. You'll slide into inboxes and slip through the bars. But you are what you did. I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive.
We know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't forgive.
You bury hatches, but you come back to where you put them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's... It's almost a little hard to listen to, but it's so good that you want to listen to it. Yeah.
I skip right to the bridge, and I just scream cry. 'Cause it's perfect.
Yeah. And I think she just, like, this song, she just really wants answers for why.
But then again, she's just like I'll forget you. Like, it doesn't even matter, really. Like, I got this off my chest, now I'm done. Because this is, like, the last song on the first half, at least, that's, like, about this relationship.
Really? I think The Alchemy is about him.
I have thoughts about The Alchemy.
All
Which
right.
is next, anyways.
Yeah. I feel good with The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Yeah.
You? Okay. So, The Alchemy. So, the very first time I listened to this, I thought Travis, but I don't think that anymore. I think it has good cadence and delivery. I like the production. She just loves a high school football metaphor.
Yeah.
And this is one of those songs where I'm like, you can argue with the wall if you think the song's about Travis, because it's just not. It doesn't make sense to be about Travis.
No, it doesn't. The only reason people think it is because of all the football metaphors.
Right, but like we see this time and time again in her discography. She often uses football metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
And like this song was probably written before she even met Travis.
I agree.
Like I just don't.
Plus, like a lot of, again, don't really know the lyrics, but it's like she talks about like I'm coming back to
Yes.
this, or like
The
this
coming
has been like
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. She didn't come back to
She's
Travis.
never
She
met
didn't.
Travis
Yeah.
before this.
They didn't know each other until this happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I wrote that down. I circled you on a map. I haven't come around in so long, but I'm coming back so strong.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It just feels like, again, her just getting thrown back into dating.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really about anyone specific.
Yeah, I don't know. He jokes that it's heroin, but this time with an E. Sounds like something Maddie Keeley would say to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, again, she like weaved him into all of her poems. So.
Yep. I love the line, the greatest in the league, where's my trophy? He just comes running over to me.
That's the only part that makes me think like that could be.
But
Travis.
also, if you're looking at it as a metaphor, like the greatest in the league, like she thinks he's one of the best songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the trophy? It's not like the 1975 is the most awarded band in music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see it. I see it for everything except for it being about Travis. Sorry.
Yep. I agree. I think, well, again, we'll talk about this later. I think So High School is probably about Travis.
It's definitely about Travis. Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
for
it.
Sure. No, that's the only song.
I did see a tweet that was funny. That was like, this song's definitely not about Travis, but she probably told him it is, and he believes her. And I was like, that's funny.
He heard touchdown, and he was like,
yeah. He did his hands. Funny.
I think this is my least favorite song on the album.
This is my least favorite song too.
Yeah, it's forgettable for me.
It's a skip for me.
It's
honestly.
I don't know if it's a skip yet. It might get to that
It's
point.
not a skip yet, but I just know it will be.
Yeah,
I do like it as a closer for the album though. I think it's a good closer. Because to me, it's just like a commentary on, again, it kind of reminds me of like Nothing New and Brain Function, the song on Red.
Nothing New.
Not Nothing New, the other
The
one.
Lucky
Lucky
One.
One, yes. It's just like, again, like that, the music industry making you the next big thing.
Yeah.
I was shocked to hear her say her own name, which is kind of funny. That like, you look like
we've
Taylor
moved on.
Swift.
Sorry, I thought you were still talking about The Alchemy.
Oh, I moved on. I'm sorry.
I was like, okay. This is not making any sense.
Sorry.
I was like, closer? All right, I'll let you finish. No, okay. Cool.
I keep
Clairbo, got it.
thinking The Alchemy is the closer of this album now.
really?
Yes. I don't know why I forget that Clairbo exists. So that tells you what I think about that song. Anyway, this song's not clicking for me,
Oh,
Clairbo.
okay. Sorry. I like Clairbo. I don't like The Alchemy.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Glad we're on the same page now. Clairbo is not clicking for me. It's not that I don't like it. I don't know. It's just not. It's not something I find myself wanting to listen to.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I don't think it's as strong as the other songs
Right.
on the album.
But I do think the line "You look like Taylor Swift in this life, in this light, we're loving it. You've got an edge she never did. Future's bright, dazzling" is an interesting.
That is an interesting way to end the album.
Can we count how many times she's been in and out of this room? I'm not letting her back in until we're done.
I saw someone compare the song to Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter, which was so interesting. Like,
yeah.
saying that Olivia looked like Clairbo and Sabrina looked like Stevie Nicks.
Interesting.
And then at the end being like, you both are like kind of carrying the Taylor Swift legacy, except you have more
Edge.
You have something that she didn't.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of like the theme. It was like Stevie Nicks had something that Clairbo didn't, and Taylor Swift had something that Stevie Nicks didn't, and then that's
someone is gonna have
something that she doesn't. That's the point. Yeah. It's like that there's always going to be like the next big thing, and who does the machine want to push out next as the next it girl, and they'll have to go to the asylum and learn the way she did, and they have the edge she didn't.
I don't know. I guess this song wasn't at all what I was expecting by the title, but
100% agree.
I wrote that I just can't imagine her doing it better.
I can't imagine anybody doing it better.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, the concept of the song.
Oh.
Instead of it, like, being about Clairbo or, like,
right.
comparing herself to it,
Yeah.
I feel like this is better.
Yeah.
I mean, it is interesting, like, the very last line that's, like, the future's bright, dazzling, but, like, in reference to somebody
Somebody
who was going to be
else.
taking over. When I heard that line, I was like, oh, that's such a nice way to end the album. And my sister looked at me and she was like, that's the saddest way.
Yeah, it's
I was
devastating.
like, what do you mean? So I definitely had to think.
Yeah.
Use my critical thinking skills here
Yeah.
on this song. Well, this whole album, really.
I think she says so much on this album, and it's gonna take a long time to like sit with it, and I just think it's some of her best writing. Like so much fourth wall breaking and religious imagery, and this album just felt really flushed out, like very intimate thoughts that were pointed, and she just seems very in tune with her emotions and her anger, and she's like articulating it very well, I think, on this record.
Totally.
And I don't think the general public is gonna like this record very much because they just don't get it.
That's fine with me.
And it's fine with me too. And this album is so vulnerable and self-aware, and I don't know, I really like it a lot.
I do too. That's why I've listened to the anthology songs like maybe once or twice, because I just want to be able to like understand everything better. And I think breaking it up
into two
will
is
help.
yeah,
Me
I agree.
Appreciate it.
I agree.
Because at 2-3 a.m. listening to these songs, I fell asleep a couple times in the middle of them because I just.
By the time I listened to the very, very last song of the anthology, I was like, I'm yawning now thinking about it. I don't even know what I'm listening to. I just didn't hear any.
And I
any
started
words.
to feel the very like, oh, all these songs sound the same.
Yes.
I was like, Emily, shut up. You just need to sleep.
You just need to sleep.
You gotta go to bed.
You need to come back to these.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why I've been really focusing on just the Torture Poets department, and I will shift and listen to the next half. Probably today, just because we're gonna have to be ready to record again. But
I'm gonna give myself like a week.
Yeah. But
yeah.
So that's our thoughts. I'm sure they'll change 1,000 times between now and what's next.
Every
but
single day.
yeah. But this is where we are today.
Good album.
Great work.
Thanks,
No
Taylor.
notes. Thanks, bestie. Love you. Sorry we're annoying and invasive.
Long ass episode.
No, they loved it. All right. Well, we'll see you next to talk about something. Maybe the anthology, maybe something else. Maybe we'll do something in between. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week, though, for sure.
Yay.
All right. Bye, friends.
Bye.